Hi, and welcome to This Week in East Brunswick, the town's own news and information program. Tonight, Manager of Recreation Karen Bourque will update us on some upcoming recreation events. School Information Officer Amy Fisher will have some school news, and our regular features will include gardening tips with Middlesex County Agricultural Agent Peggy Ballister-Howells, health facts with Dr. Cynthia Bowers, and how to treat sprains. Consumer advocate Adrian Eisner will have information on Social Security, and we'll wrap up with our Township Council review. But first, here's what's on Channel 8 next week. Monday at 10 a.m., Lenore Kulik shows how to firm all over on Look Great, Feel Great. At 10:30, East Brunswick Children's Librarians present Stories from the Library for preschoolers. At 7 Tuesday night, author Paul Corky is interviewed on In Print, a production by the City of Beverly Hills. At 7:30, John Magliaro visits Dr. Michael Spadafino on Sports Talk. And at 8 p.m., About East Brunswick with the Mayor focuses on the water policy in East Brunswick. Wednesday night at 7:30, Dolly Vasta documents the history and success of the Children's Theater in East Brunswick on For Art's Sake. And at 8, the Arts examines the gala premiere season of the State Theater in the New Brunswick Cultural Center. This Week in East Brunswick returns at 7 and 8 p.m. next Thursday night, and Sandy Lamon, host of EV People, at 7:30 with her guest, Marilyn Seitz. Be sure to check the Channel 8 program guide for repeats of all of our shows. Now let's join Karen Bourque for some recreation news.
Hello everyone, I'm Karen Bourque, Manager of the Division of Recreation for East Brunswick Township. And I'm here today to bring you up to date on just a few things that are on the agenda in the next couple of weeks. First of all, our Daisy Recreation Program, which is for disabled, handicapped young people and adults, will begin on October 1st. And I thought that it'd be important for me to inform you of the information that you might need to register. Some people think that that program is only for the mentally retarded person. That's not so. We, in fact, take care of all disabilities. Dyslexic children, severely learning disabled, physically handicapped. So we run the whole gamut, emotionally disturbed. So we want you to know that we are here for you. So you people in East Brunswick and surrounding communities know that there is a place for your child to go. Now the program starts on October 1st, and it runs from 10 o'clock to 4 o'clock every Saturday. It ends on May 13th, 1989, and I know we don't want to think about that because we have to think about snow and rain and all those things. But that program is there for the child or the young adult, and also for the parent as a respite. So if you're interested in information or you need some more facts, you can either call myself or Fred Smith, the coordinator of the program, at 390-6797, and we'd be happy to help you. For your own information, if you're considering joining, the resident fee is $245. The non-resident fee is $660. We also have transportation available for the resident only, and that fee is $120. So if we can help you at all with your handicapped, disabled, young person or adult, just give us a call and let's see if we can't make your life a little bit easier. In addition to that, the BIC Association, which is the Brain Injured Children's Association of East Brunswick, is the supportive private group that assists Daisy in so many ways. We probably could talk about it at great length. And next week I'll be meeting with Ron Schechter, the new president of BIC, to fill you in about some of the things that BIC does for the Daisy program, and also the interplay, the role play between the township and a private group, and how positive really that can be. But in the interim, I would like you to think about supporting a program that the BIC is running, and that will be the Daisy Fashion Show, which will be held on October 4th. We will serve dinner promptly at 7 o'clock, so come early. The fee is right. It's the right price. It's $25, and that entitles you to a door prize, many door prizes throughout the night. We will also, on that evening at 10 o'clock, some of you have heard about the beautiful Mercury Cougar car that we're raffling off for $100 a ticket with 300 limit. That will be raffled off promptly at 10 o'clock. Second prize is a CD player, and the third prize is a $100 gift certificate to Macy's. What I'd suggest when people say $100, wow, that's a lot of money. But it really isn't when you go in with 10 other people or 9 other people and kick in $10 a piece, or perhaps you want to kick in $5 a piece with 5, or divide it by 4. Just make the agreement with the people that you purchase it with that you'll sell the car. It's worth approximately $18,000. You may want to spoil yourself also and just buy one ticket for yourself, and maybe you'll be the person to drive away with that $18,000 car. I know I have my ticket, so I want to see you there, okay? Remember, October 4th, 7 p.m. at the Chateau in East Brunswick. That's the place to be. A great night of fun, prizes, laughter, and you'll be able to see fashions by Nauer Furs and also Ladies' Choice of Manalapan. So support our organization, support our Daisy kids. Come out for a good time, and I'll see you. Take care.
Hi, I'm Amy Fisher, and I'm the Information Officer for the school system. Today I have some news about the class of 1988 and about the class of 1989. This week we just received the SAT scores from the class of 1988, and so I'm going to read them to you. The average score on the verbal section of the test was 447, and on the math section was 525. The verbal score is 14 points lower than it was in 1987 when it was an all-time high, and the math score is 3 points lower. However, both of our scores are still well above national and state averages. The EBHS score on the verbal test is 19 points higher than the national average and 23 points higher than the state average. In math, the EBHS score is 49 points higher than the national score and 56 points higher than the state score. It might be interesting for you to know also that last year 91% of the graduating class took the SAT. That's the highest percentage we've ever had. And that compares with the percentage in New Jersey, which is about 69%. As a matter of fact, New Jersey is one of only about 12 states in the country that has more than 60% of its high school students who take the SATs. And the 91% of our students who did take the test corresponds with the percentage of the class that's enrolled in post-secondary education this year. 68% in 4-year colleges, 22% in 2-year colleges, and 1% in business schools, for a total of 91% attending some kind of post-secondary education. Now for the news of the class of 1989, this year's seniors. 12 of them became National Merit Scholarship semifinalists in the 1989 National Merit Scholarship Competition. This is the largest number that we've ever had, and the third highest number in the state. Cherry Hill East had 19, I believe. West Windsor, Plainsboro had 13, and we had 12. These students are among 15,000 in the entire country to be named as semifinalists, and the National Merit Scholarship Corporation anticipates that about 90% of them will become finalists next spring. The names of our students are Paul Bonanos, Stacy Carton, Jeff Dreyer, Andre Duboucher, John Ling Fu, Stephen Goldman, Robert Kaplan, Stephen Lord, Brian Coranta, Melissa Schiffman, Michael Schoen, and Michael Zillat. And they'll be honored at the Board of Education meeting on Thursday, October the 13th. If you would like to come and see them get certificates, I'm sure we'd like to have you see them be there. One more announcement I have to make. On your school calendars for 6th grade parents at Hammersholt School, it lists back to school night as October the 11th. However, that's going to be changed to October the 5th. So if you're planning ahead, maybe you can mark that down on your calendar, that 6th grade back to school night in Hammersholt School has been changed to October 5th. The 7th grade back to school night will stay the same as it was originally scheduled, which is October 13th. So we hope to see you soon again. Bye-bye.
Hi, this is Peggy Ballister-Howells, your Middlesex County Agricultural Agent, and we're here in my front garden to finish up a project that we started a few weeks ago. We had covered this bed in black plastic. The purpose of that was to kill off the weeds, It absorbs the heat, it makes it very hot under there, it prevents any water from penetrating and oxygen. And so it kills off the weeds and the grass and allows us to just turn the ground over without having to dig out all the grass. Now, if you don't kill off the grass first, what happens is the weeds will regenerate. And while that's a very good quality in a lawn, it's not a very good quality in a flower bed. So let me show you how that works. We use this rock to keep the plastic down, and we're going to use it a little later as a decorative part of the garden. If you pull the black plastic back, you can see that everything is quite dead. Now, this comes right out, and you can see that it just falls apart. And now this can basically just be turned over, and it is a source of organic matter that helps to improve the soil. Now, I do suggest that you do some serious hoeing first, and that breaks things up. It breaks up these little clumps of grass and gets the good soil off the roots. Now, of course, since this is a new bed, we want to be particularly careful to make sure we prepare it properly. Now, I have here a present from my friend Drummer. It's a fair amount of horse manure. Now, this is also an excellent source of organic matter and adds some nutrients. Now, you never know exactly what you're adding, but you do certainly add something in terms of nitrogen and potassium and phosphorus. But the main reason you add this is as a source of organic matter. Now, this is a very long, narrow bed, and I really think that I want to sculpt it a little bit and make it raised here and flat in the front here and raised in the back end and in the middle over there. So it'll make a nice kind of hilly effect. Now, we're not talking about very high, but you don't want it flat either. That'll be kind of boring. Now, you also want to add some fertilizer. This is 10-6-4 partial organic fertilizer, and you want to apply it at a rate of about 1 pound per 100 square feet. I would guess this is just about 100 square feet, so we want to put a pound in. That should be enough for this little area. Of course, it's always best to have a soil test so that you know exactly where you are, and that'll also tell you if you need to add lime to adjust the pH. We have a very strange combination of soil in this bed. I've often hit patches of sand in it. I think that that was the result of laying the concrete. Oh, look, we found some nice fine earthworms. It's always good to find earthworms. Earthworms aerate the soil, and they help incorporate organic matter into it. You can see I'm starting to build this up just a little bit here. And I'm going to finish making the beds, and then we'll show you what it looks when it's all done. Okay, as you can see here now, we've got a nice raised berm-like structure here that we've raised the soil up. It kind of goes in a nice curve. I think that I want it, rather than having the berm all one thickness and height, I'm going to spread it out a little in these curves and make this part a little bit higher. Pull this forward so it's not just a boring curve. We want an interesting curve. A little flatter. And I think that that'll just about do it. Now, if you come back with us next week, you'll see where we're going to put some nice little low-growing evergreens that'll supply winter interest and will also be pretty all year long. We'll see you then here in my garden.
During the summer months, we all tend to engage in more strenuous physical activity than during the winter. Unfortunately, this increase in activity is often associated with an increase in minor injuries, especially sprains and strains. For all practical purposes, sprains and strains are different degrees of the same injury, a sprain being more severe than a strain. The injury is caused by putting undue stress on a joint while it is in an unstable position, such as occurs with running on an uneven surface or falling on an outstretched hand, resulting in damage to the soft tissue of the joint. The most common symptoms are pain, swelling, and bruising. When the symptoms are mild, the injury can be treated without the assistance of a physician. When the symptoms are severe, a physician should be consulted to rule out significant joint instability or fracture. Even in the more serious injuries, the treatments I'm going to discuss should be applied until such time as the injury can be evaluated by a physician. First of all, the involved parts should be put at rest and, when possible, elevated. Weight-bearing joints should be given complete rest initially, with increased partial weight bearing as pain decreases. Knees, ankles, and wrists can be supported with ACE wraps or commercial elastic supporters. Fingers and toes can be taped. Shoulder injuries are often more comfortable in a sling. Elevating the affected part is also important, as it tends to decrease the swelling. Ice is another important element of therapy. Ice will help to prevent the swelling and bleeding into the tissue by causing vasoconstriction. Since swelling is much easier to prevent than to get rid of, it is important to apply the ice to the injury as soon as possible. This should be continued for anywhere from 24 to 48 hours. Pain can be controlled with aspirin, ibuprofen, or acetaminophen, all of which can be obtained over the counter. Aspirin and ibuprofen give the added advantage of anti-inflammatory effect, but also cause the side effect of stomach upset. As the pain and swelling decrease, you should gradually increase your activity until you're back to normal. It is important to remember, however, that even after the pain subsides, it may take several months for the strength in the joint to return to normal, and that appropriate support devices should be used when engaging in activities that might stress the joint. I'm Dr. Cynthia Bowers, and this has been Health Facts.
Hello, and welcome to Consumer Aware. I'm Adrienne Eisner, Director of the East Brunswick Consumer Affairs Office. 38 million Americans receive Social Security benefits each month. Of these, 3 million are children. The Social Security program has been paying benefits to people for 50 years. It belongs to you. You pay for it, but do you understand it? The Social Security Administration's free booklet, Social Security, How It Works for You, can help you understand. In an easy-to-follow question and answer format, it explains who is eligible to receive benefits, how to apply for them, and much more. For your copy of Social Security, How It Works for You, send your name and address to the Consumer Information Center, Item 590T, Pueblo, Colorado, 81009. Most of us think of Social Security only as a benefit program for retired people. It's also an insurance package that protects you and your family while you work. By paying those taxes now, you ensure that your spouse and children will be protected if you die or become disabled. And after you stop working, you'll be entitled to monthly retirement benefits. The first step toward getting your benefits is to get a Social Security number. You probably got yours when you got your first job. Current tax laws require that children have Social Security numbers by the time they are 5 years old. If you need an application, call your local Social Security Administration office. Remember, it doesn't cost anything to get a Social Security number. You don't have to pay a company to file an application for you. You should also contact the Social Security office if you are approaching 65 or planning to retire, if you are disabled, or if someone in your family dies. And every few years, it is good to ask for a record of your earnings to make sure that the Social Security tax that you've paid has been credited to you. If you have any additional questions, please contact us at the East Brunswick Consumer Affairs Office. Our hours are Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. Our office is located in the Municipal Building. Telephone number is 390-6954. Thank you for joining me on Consumer Aware. See you again next time.
At Monday night's council agenda meeting, Township Recreation Director Judith Lebline brought the council up to date on the expansion of the Daisy Recreation Building. Lebline says the project is going well and should stay within its $150,000 budget. Lebline said the plan needs a resolution from the council to move on to the planning board. The council will vote on a resolution at next week's action meeting. Daisy is a camp which provides service to the handicapped in and around East Brunswick. Council President Russell Walker also asked the council Monday night to consider a law which would permit seniors to rent out rooms in private households. Walker asked the administration to check into current regulations regarding this issue. That's all for now. Thanks for watching.